Hey everyone, welcome back to Owlchemist Tarot, serving tarot straight up. If you are new to my channel, subscribe so you know when new videos go live. And if you're a return subby, thank you so much. I always appreciate it. So this is actually, I'm filming this on August 8th, which is one of the more important days or more powerful days around the Lion's Gate portal. So this is for the 8th, the 9th, and into the rest of the week. And let's just see what's going on. So again, if you're a Leo, happy birthday. I always try to say that for every sign. I'm going to be pulling one card from the Sacred Destiny Oracle deck. And then I'm going to be using the Tattoo Tarot, 8 coins, a Tattoo Tarot deck. Okay, so I know a lot of people ask me what decks I use, so I'm going to try to get better about posting, you know, so you guys can see. All right, let me pull one more of these Oracle cards. And then I'm going to be pulling a card for, you know, money, career, love, relationships, communication, things you just need to be kind of aware of, and then overall energy. So 3 cards came out. So it says Purification. Amazing. I love this card. It does remind me of Leo season and almost like the sun card, this big sunflower. Sunflowers follow the sun. So for a lot of you, you can be following not only things that excite you, that help you feel more clear, more grounded, more adventurous. But you're definitely following things that you have a passion for. Love this card. The other one is Security, and the next card is Adventures. You know, a big thing, sometimes we get torn because when you're following your gut and when you're following kind of something that really makes you happy, and purification happens really when you've let go. You know, when you just you're present, you're being present, and you're just saying, look, I like doing this. I don't know if it's going to give me security. I don't know if I can make money off of it. I don't know if I can create that fire and like feel comfortable, you know, but ultimately there is that sense of adventure that I think your spirit guides or your part of you is really being encouraged to follow. I have to tell you that the purification, I feel like for a lot of you, getting rid of things, you know, moving on from an old relationship or people in your life, looking at different career avenues or job opportunities. You know what? Sometimes you do have to take a step back, or, you know, maybe a step down, and work yourself up, but it could be in a great company. It could be where you're valued and there's a lot of growth opportunity. You know, your vibe will always attract your tribe. So for a lot of you, you know, your sense of adventure and feeling excitement, they're going to lead you to the right people who are supposed to be in your life, who are you're supposed to cross paths with. Security, I'm not saying that I'm a realist. I'm not saying that you should just, you know, whatever and, you know, put all the savings into life and just travel all the world. I mean, if you want to, go for it. But I will say security is, I think, a part of you that needs to feel secure. It's almost knowing instinctively that everything is working out for you. Yes, you need to be smart. Yes, you need to kind of look at everything and be realistic, but don't lose that sense of adventure, because I think you're being pulled to push yourself out of your comfort zone this week. And you know, one thing about the Lion's portal, I mean, this is really encouraging really strong Leo energy. Leo energy is all about having courage, and it's, you know, being confident and stepping into your power. And I think for a lot of you, you're really finding that, and you're being asked to do that, which might be a little bit uncomfortable at first. So let's see what's going on for the rest of the week. And by the way, I shuffled pretty extensively offline, so I'm just going to shuffle a few times. Apologize the appearance. I've been working outside and cleaning my garage. It's not really been an exciting weekend. It's just been a lot of cleaning and getting stuff ready to go. And sure enough, it's just like, this is what you get, okay? Okay. Let's see. Okay. Ooh, interesting. The bottom of the deck, we got the Lover's card. I love this deck, by the way. I guess if you like kind of like the vintage type of tattoos, and I'm not familiar with maybe the right term, but the Lover's card is these 2 amazing pythons, these snakes that are kind of coiled up within each other, looking at each other. You know, the Lovers, yes, it can certainly mean love and relationships and partnerships, soul connection, but it also can mean a decision that involves 2 or more people. It's a decision that is not necessarily easy. The Lovers is making a kind of definitive choice to stay or go, to move on, to, you know, look in a different direction, to move. So for some of you, you have a pretty significant decision, and it can include a partner if you're with someone. Now, in the money zone, you got an amazing card, Three of Cups. In this deck, there's duplicates, but they're also like black and white version. And I don't know if this is like to color yourself. I don't really know. The Three of Cups is all about celebration. It's about reunion. It's excitement. It's joyous. It's showing off, and I don't want to say showing off, but it's like putting your money into a gathering or a ceremony where it's like you enjoy spending because of the people who are with you, and it's just helping the entire experience be harmonious and exciting. The Three of Cups, I will say, for the money zone, I think for some of you, your money's looking pretty good this week. I would say this is probably just to be a little conscientious on where you're spending. Like, don't overly spend, because sometimes it's coming from like an emotional void. But you could be spending a little bit more, like maybe wine and drink, maybe going to bars with friends, you know, happy hour, that type of thing, where you're kind of reconnecting with folks you haven't seen in a bit. Could be family and friends, but I do feel like for a lot of you, you're having this kind of one last hurrah. And especially if your kids are going into back to school here soon, I think for a lot of you, you're kind of like trying to do this one last, you know, fun celebration before kiddos are back to the grind. Don't overspend this week, but I will say, you know, spend thoughtfully and with care. Spirit keeps saying that it's a good time to have fun, but it's not good when you break the bank. So it's like finding that happy balance and happy medium. But there certainly could be a gathering this week, and, you know, it's like maybe you just buying a couple beverages or, you know, a platter of food or whatever the case is, but don't overly spend. I do think too, is that for some of you, you're looking at how your funds maybe need to be diversified a little bit. Maybe like your will, and some of you are looking at that, maybe like you're looking at your beneficiaries, or you're kind of changing that up and figuring out like where things go, like 401k, that kind of stuff. And maybe you've had, you know, adding somebody or adding more of a percentage to somebody that's in your kind of, you know, beneficiary list. Career looks really amazing. You got the Empress card. Empress is ruled by Taurus, ruled by lovely Venus. I really feel like there is a creative opportunity on the horizon for many of you. Having the ability to have more say in a creative endeavor, I meant to say, you have more, it's like you're a position of authority where you have more say. This can also mean certainly a new beginning, the birth of something, a birth of a new company, birth of a new job, birth of a new career even. For some of you, you're kind of really transitioning and moving. Like I said, with this Lover's card, you could be transitioning into making a pretty emotional choice and going into a new, you know, company or role. And it's like you have to leave people that you really care about, you know, behind a little bit. And but career-wise for the Empress, for a lot of you, this could certainly be that you might be in the medical field, that you might be kind of in that health and wellness or the beauty industry, certainly. It's almost like you're beautifying, even for some of you, you're beautifying and putting a little money into like your clothing, your appearance, new hairstyle. And since Mercury is well out of its shadow, out of retrograde, I mean, it's this kind of a nice time to do it. There's a lot of beautiful things on the horizon with the Empress card. You know, the Empress is traditionally shown as a divine feminine who is pregnant. Certainly in your career, for some of you, there could be a woman who comes and helps you and pushes you along, guides you, assists you, and really mentors you. So there could be a woman in your life, in your career, that kind of gets you going and helps you move the needle and kind of pushes you forward. But there's a lot of great things on the horizon with your career, even if you don't see it right now. It's like you're planting the seed, and it's kind of like the, you know, with this, it's almost as if with each moon, that doesn't Nope. I'm gonna let that go. Sorry for that dead space, airspace. I'll just leave that. Too many words were coming at me at once. I'm like, no, never mind. So romance and love, I will say you got Queen of Wands. Such a sassy energy. Love, love, love this. Queen of Wands is all about, that ta-da factor. Very charismatic, has a lot of chemistry. And this certainly can represent a fire sign, Leo, Sag, or an Aries, especially a Leo. It just has this pizzazz. It just has this like, who is that? I think for a lot of you, whether you're in a relationship or you're single, you're remembering who the fuck you are. Yeah. And I mean, no one better than the Queen of Wands to show up and show out too, because this is somebody that you're never going to forget. And that could certainly be the energy you're taking in, and you walk into a room and trust me, people remember you. Whether it's your perfume or cologne, it's your confidence, your swagger, how you hold yourself, and you just come off like you just have this incredible amount of power. And it's not arrogance. It's not, it's not showing off. It's just that you have this weight about you. And again, in this type of like Lionsgate type of vibe, you're pulling in a lot of Leo energy, which Leos are all about not minding the spotlight. So the Queen of Wands, if you're single, I mean, this is a really good time to get out there. Okay. Now, I know for some of you, you're like, I can't, there's a pandemic. True. And all those things they're a fact. Be careful, if you're, just follow your gut. I always say that. But if you're going to go out, put a little extra TLC into the appearance. Maybe you do a little something with your hair. You wear different, perfume or cologne. You wear some clothes that you haven't worn and they kind of just make you feel like vavoom. You know what I mean? You got a little bit going. I think that your confidence is going to really lure people in. And I feel like that also for singles, this is probably the time to shoot that shot. If you've been interested in somebody and you've kind of been looking around, this is maybe the time to take the first move. Be bold. You're going to be shocked and surprised at the response and reaction because it's going to be more positive than you think. If you're partnered, I really feel like this is putting a little bit of zing back in the relationship. I think for one of you or both of you, it's like you've kind of been in the doldrums, in the partnership. So I think for you who's watching, it's like you're going to be putting a little bit more fire back in the relationship, even approaching things a little bit more confidently. Every relationship, there's usually somebody who's a little bit more A-type personality and someone who's a little bit more introverted, and that's totally fine. I feel like you're taking the lead in the relationship and making decisions, saying, hey, we're not going to do this where you want to eat shit. Here's where I want to eat. We're going to cook this. You're going to be making a little bit more assertive. You're going to be a little bit more assertive in the relationship and taking that lead. And, it could be that your partner's been in this kind of role and you're switching and it kind of gives them a little bit of a reprieve. But I do feel like this is a really sexy, sexy time for couples too. Overall communication. And I just want to pull one card. I'm drawn to pull one card. So we got the full card and then the 7 of Wands. So I think for some of you, especially when you're speaking to people that maybe you don't know yet, so just like anything, when you're in another zodiac sign, you can pull their characteristics. Leo sometimes can be, it's my way or the highway, and a lot of fire signs can be that way. Or they'll overtalk. And hey, love y'all, but it's just, they'll overtalk and they won't let somebody they usually like to take charge in the conversation and sometimes smother the conversation. So for some of you, you could be taking on that characteristic for communication. If you don't know anybody that well, if you're kind of walking into a very new situation, you're learning personalities, you're learning their communication styles, you're trying to kind of slowly integrate yourself, whether it's a group of people at a new job, even with maybe a sensitive situation. I will tell you, there's nothing wrong with holding your own and standing your ground and being polite and professional. But I would just say tone this week, just kind of keep it as think before you speak, because you could come off more aggressive than you intend to. Now, another thing too is that I feel like instead of less is more this week with communication. So I would observe more than talk. With the Fool card, it's almost like you're kind of blindly going into a situation where you might, whether you want to or not, you have to participate in some way, shape, or form. I would recommend observing and watching before you actually add any type of comment. Just because, again, the energy could be a little bit more fiery. And yes, you might have to put your foot in the ground. You might have to add something to the conversation where it kind of like puts a little bit more of a boom. Hey, we shouldn't do this because of A, B, and C. But what I would tell you is let people add their insights. Don't try to control a conversation. Just observe and listen and then speak. That's hard for some fire signs and especially air signs. We're like, oh, we know, because we think 25 steps ahead and we're like, we know the answer, you're already slow, we've already figured it out. Okay, but the thing is that you may need to be a little bit more group oriented. And again, what you say could actually have a little bit more heavier, impact. So with this Seven of Wands, it really does kind of put the line in but it's good to listen to everyone's perspective. And especially if you're in a leadership position or you're thought of as a leader or you're a very strong personality, people are looking to you. So just listen and then speak. It will go a long way this week, I think. Okay. So thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry, this is a little scattered. I wanted to get this in, but I also didn't have a lot of time today. So anyway, thank you guys. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram. Talk to you later. See you soon.